welcome you as a family, because here we are family and we intend on building something special. So, can we start with you?
All right. Hello everyone, my name is Keith.
Keith, nice to meet you, Keith.
Nice to meet you, Keith. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sister.
Hi y'all, my name's Khadijah.
Hold up, y'all. I can't even hear y'all today. My crew, they not all the way woke. You gotta like pardon them. They real rowdy and they get real loud. Okay, so give a little love. I didn't hear the name. Can y'all tell me the name? Khadijah. Okay. All right. Hi, Khadijah. How you doing? Welcome. All right. What's your name?
I am Justin.
Justin. Nice to meet you, Justin. Hi, Justin. Hey, look. We a family, or are we divided? Because we could do some team building exercises this morning. So I just want to know that I had an energy in the room. All right. How you doing? How you doing, young man? What's your name?
My name's Chris.
Chris, how you doing, Chris?
Hi, Chris. Hey,
Welcome to BMBC. Okay. Let us give you all a warm welcome, a hug, a tough love. Somebody missing? Oh, you were hiding. It was the eyeball that made you like invisible. The earphone. Can you take those out, please? Thank you. May I ask your name?
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Kia.
Hi, Kia. All right, I mean that too. I really mean that. Welcome to BMBC.
Kia.
You guys you're really alias team. Because it's like you're here, but you're not. Everybody's so chilled out. I'm not used to that. I'm sorry. Camera person, future camera person of the world, media technology person holding the camera before me. Who are you?
My name is Keyshawn. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Keyshawn. Welcome to BMBC. So let me just take a moment. First of all, to thank everybody for coming and to let you know how amazing that God is and how things evolve in a way that you sometimes when you moving out here, you don't know how you're gonna end up at the place you at. If you go the right way, if you make the right decisions and you go on the right path and you do all the things that are right, sometimes things still happen. But you still got a roadmap to get back to where it is you're trying to go. Some people is lost though. They don't really know where they're going. They don't have nothing really on their mind, and most of the time they on joke time. So what we try to do is create some kind of an understanding to you having a real mindset about work, about the world of work, about getting yourself prepared for work and getting yourself prepared for the world. So here at BMBC, we're doing something special. And we invite you all. It's amazing how we ended up. The reason I referenced the Creator in this situation is not because I'm a minister. The reason I did that was because I know when some things happen that just nobody can put together, nobody can ever say they did this or they did that. It just, the fate of the situation is so surreal, and it's like, who would have thought that this would have happened? In a sense like that, that's the kind of situation that we're actually realizing right now. So I'm going to tell a little bit about that later. But first I'd like to ask my core team 1 and 2, in the family, everybody here, and the homies in the back, and everybody, what are we building here?
A community center.
Oh, Lord. That's all right. No, it's all right, because I already had the tires ready for you. See, you playing with me. I would wait. You see all them tires out there? I was going to have them in the field this morning. So be lucky you got some potatoes cooked. Because you would have been out there jumping them things right there. You wouldn't be saying that. All I got to do is run you up and down twice. Your mind will change real fast. But we a family here. What are we building? A community center. And it takes a community, and it takes a village. You know, and so Kamon is a very, very, very talented brother and an amazing dude. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about Kamon and my relationship and how y'all ended up coming here. Turn around for me, Chan. All right, turn your chair for me. Thank you, thank you. Sit up for me, soldier. There you go. Thank you, sir. All right. You okay today? It looks a little cocked over there. Can you mind? Yeah. Airplane, land. All right. We all good? All right. Kamon and I, we had a one of those surreal moments where Kamon is the director of a radio station here in Washington, D.C. over in Anacostia. And Kamon asked me about 2 years ago to come to his station to speak about Islam. And then he had someone on his station talking about Christianity. And I'm saying to myself, man, I ain't no imam. You know, like I ain't really sharp. Like, you know, I'm like, man, oh man, I don't know if this is something that I can do. Because I don't believe in saying anything that I can't stand on. So I don't want to mislead anybody. So I'm like real edgy about that. Like, whoa, you mean on the air? All right. But Kamon, because he saw something in me, he gave me that opportunity. And I crushed it. But the reality of it is that made a relationship. Now I'm going to tell you something intimate. While I was there, Kamon had his little son running around. Son running all around in the radio station and stuff like that. And the son came, you know, climbed right up on me and hugged me, right? So Kamon was like, who are you? Why is my son, did my son come and get on you? Because my son don't get on nobody. This is how I remember this specifically. His son does not go to people and just climb up on them and be all nice and cheery and stuff. Is that what happened? And so like that's how we became friends at that point. But we've been seeing each other on the move. I be seeing him on the subway. I'm on the move. You're on the move. We in different places, venues and things like this. And every time we see each other, we say, man, we gotta get together, man. You gotta come over and see my spot. We gotta get together. You know, we collaborating, but we both moving like light speed. Like I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. So then somebody came here a couple of weeks back and was like, you know, I got, as a matter of fact, it was Akili West, a good brother of mine. He's green energy partner of mine to help build community gardens with you guys and do things that are environmentally friendly and renewable energy conscious movements about how you handle the stuff that you eat out of and how you can take that same material and make something out of it that's productive, that's sellable and reusable, that you can make money off of, right? So he's got that whole game. So he said, man, I want to introduce you to my man. You know, you ever heard of a dude named Kamon Freeman? I said, man, I know Kamon. You told me Kamon, that's my good brother, right? You know, I talk to him we talk all the time. He said, man, I got to get him over here, man. When Kamon see this, he's gonna, man, I'm telling you, I got to get Kamon over. I said, okay, cool. But you know, Akili is one of them dudes too. So if you catch him, you catch him. So time flows on, and one morning, I'm walking back up the alley, and I look and I say, oh, hey, Kamon, what's up, man? How you doing? Kamon was told he had to do some community service. And the community service came from a judge here in the District of Columbia, right? We all have our things that we got to correct in our life. We all in transition, so it's no biggie, no foul on Kamon and his character, for sure. It's a amazing thing that he wasn't here for me. I thought he was coming because Akili sent them or something like that. He was coming for community service. So I laughed, and him and I laughed, and then I said, well, brother, your community service gonna have to be us putting a radio station in here. That's what, or doing something that invigorates or partners us in some manner to give back to the community. So Kamon's an outstanding guy for bringing you guys over here and going all out like he did this morning. It was well worth waiting for Kamon and his team. I see why he went that far to go pick you guys up from the subway. Because, you know, the rules of the SYEP, they say, oh, don't do this, don't do that. But when we engage with you all, we have to love you like you are us. And so it's sometimes I gotta come and pick you up for the subway. Or in her situation, I might have to get her, I don't know. I almost got you some Chipotle yesterday, so keep faking. I almost got that card. Was you talking slick? I got that card. Look. It's all good, I'll put you on the spot. But for the most part, what we're building here is a community center that is a workforce development community center. So what we want to do is try and educate each other to be able to match the skill sets for jobs that are out there. Because the jobs that are out there now are changing. But you got to be willing almost to do, you have to be not willing to do anything, but flexible and teachable in different ways. So some simple things in life like cutting grass, some people might not have never touched a lawnmower in their life in this room. I know a few. Little things like, yesterday we had a situation, we're loading up a truck, we'll be finishing up on that this evening. Hopefully our team, we got a lot of people, we can get a lot of work done. But primarily, all of these movements are just clearing the way for our opportunity to be able to work as a unit collectively in the community. And we have so many things to talk about. I don't want to do all the talking, but I want to ask Kamon to come up and say a few words to you all. Or he can say it from that standpoint, it's fine, whatever.
Up there.
First, good afternoon. And I just want to say that you luckily have a man such as this that's showing some interest in your well-being. And that the best way to honor what he's putting into you is to put something back out here in the world that reflects something you learned from him. You know, it's supposed to be each one teach one, right? So it would be a shame if next summer I hear a tragic story come on the news like I did for one of my kids from the summer before last, who got killed at a cookout fighting over a piece of chicken, right? That I feel betrayed. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm ashamed that, he came through a program. Now, he didn't do a good job in the program. He wasn't my, sharpest student. Truth be told, he was the worst student. But nevertheless, he still was there. Had he not learned anything, I wanted to go to his funeral and kick the coffin, But that is something that tragedy happened. And I have to repeat that so that you don't go ahead and do something as stupid and your life ends tragically. All right? So this could actually save your life if you look at it that way. If you take the virtues this man is trying to instill into you, But you got to understand, it ain't just what you say, it's what you do. So when I come in here and I see, my brother, he's slouching a little bit, So am I going to think you sharp or am I going to think you a slouch? You slouch. You might be the sharpest two people in here, but by looking at you, I might assume that you're a slouch. So if I come in here and I've got, 2 job slots that I want to hire, I'm walking in here, who are the last 2 people I'm going to look at? The people that I'm perceiving to be a slouch. So you got to understand, your body language gives off one thing, and ain't nobody telling you got to be like a cornball and wear a white monkey suit all the time, nothing like that.
No, but absolutely, I want to say, just, piggybacking off of my man, it's relevant for you to know that, though. See, cornballs make money today. Cornballs got jobs today, too. Come on. I mean, we got a very unique task at hand because they already have a lot of street vernacular, understanding, internet savvy. The world is big, the game is big. So y'all way faster than the average kids. So yeah, it is a cornball look, but it's a cornball look for a good reason though. It's like, I don't know, our group earlier this week, we had a conversation about conforming and the word conformity. Does anybody remember what the word to conform means? Was it conform? Was that the root of the word? Speak up. Stand up for me. I can't hear you. To adjust. So sometimes conformity can be different in society because they want something from you that maybe might challenge your feeling in your spirit. You might have locks in your head. You might not look like everybody else, right? So they ask you to conform to certain things that just seem like they're bending your character. But I'm just saying that if it's a matter of eating or not eating, ain't nothing that important that you can't conform. Because you're not losing yourself. You're still intact with yourself. And if you don't want to conform, then that means you're a rebel. So if you're a rebel, then you might as well come on over here with me. Because that's what I am. I'm a rebel. I can call 5 to 10 people on the phone that have said, I had a white guy one time when I was working in Virginia, and I said that, I would say it just like that. It's on the record. And I'm going to tell you how offended I was by the white guy when he said this. And why I specifically said that. Because our country becomes polarized with ignorance. And it's based on the geological settings of where they live at, and they think that they're different, and they look at you like you're different, but really we're all the same. So I'm saying I was working as a car salesman in Arlington, Virginia, on Route 50, matter of fact. Falls Church, it's not like something like Falls Church, Virginia, where the per capita income in that particular area is over $100,000. Okay, everybody in that particular radius is 100,000 plus income-wise in their households. So when you do the demographics on that area, whenever you go into business, you have to do demographics on the area to see what is the people that's around there and what is their median income, so you can know how much your business can earn in a particular area. And even though I was in car sales, I knew that I had to see what I was dealing with. But when I went there, I'm telling you my experience. I don't know how old I was, probably 28, 29 years old. I had every ethnicity of person working there for me, and the general manager was a white guy. But I had a Korean group, salesman in my office. I had 2 African brothers, right? I had one very seasoned, polished Spanish guy, right? Latino, right? And I was the only one from our race and ethnicity in that particular sense. Seeing that my population here is people that are similar in ethnicity, maybe some differences, because you don't really know. You can't just look at a person and think, oh, they're this way, that way. But I'm gonna tell you my experience. Every time a sale came in the place, every time a Korean dude come in the lot, I see who's a ha, who. The guy comes straight to him. I don't know what they just said. He just took the sale. In that area, there are a lot of Latinos, right? This guy was cooking them. Everybody that come up, he was like, come up there, hey, man. It was like they knew each other. Fiesta. Let me sell you a car. So I'm like, yo, man, I thought we was taking turns, but you don't speak Spanish or Korean, so you can't take turns. The Africans was just baking everybody, right? They was just like, oh yeah, let me see what's going on. I get him. He's my customer. Sit down. So I'm young. I'm not really trying to buck the system. So I got real aggressive. I started going out on the parking lot. I walked the whole lot. I said, if anybody walks on this lot, they my sale. Anybody that's out here, I'm suited and booted every day. I'm walking the lot. It got real hot walking on that lot every day. It was real hot. It was a lot of work, and I wasn't getting no money, and it was just becoming real tough for me. The lesson of it is, I conformed to the situation. I did not maximize the potential of the situation. But then one day, I started getting a little depressed in that job, and I started dressing down a little bit. I didn't like go in there cold like I was out of my mind, but I started wearing plaid shirts or what have you, you know, and khakis, and you know, and chucks. I mean, cause I was, I don't know, I fell out of the rhythm of trying to conform for a minute. So the white guy, and I'm saying it because I think I'm still dealing with that emotionally. I haven't like let that go, that I was so offended. So I think that kind of still sticks with me. And it's not, I have nothing against white people. I'm just saying that this guy kind of offended me when he called me in his office and said, you know, it's pretty goddamn amazing, man, that you think you can get away with the stuff you do around here? I mean, for God's sake, man, you're in Virginia. Why don't you listen? You're very urban. This is not an urban clientele. I mean, so I was like, ho, sir, hold up. Can you please define for me what urban means? What does urban mean? And how is it related to my performance on this job, right? Because, you know, the owner of the dealership was Ethiopian, right? You know, so we all different melting pot, right? So where does the word urban come from? How does it relate to you in a work capacity? How do you work urban like? How is your dress code urban like in Virginia? I didn't really understand that. I took it kind of personal myself. You know, so I didn't really conform that. That's not like the great story that I'm saying everything went peachy keen with it, right? I'm not going to only tell you the good stories. I'm going to tell you the ones that wasn't so good so you won't make the same mistakes. I handled things differently. I went to management and I lodged a complaint that I felt that the words was condescending towards me, meaning talking down towards me. I didn't quite understand the origin of the word urban in the context of work. And so, all right, Brother Hackett, I didn't understand that. Everybody, that's Brother Hackett. Peace, big brother. All right, have a good day. So I didn't understand the word urban in the context that they used it. And I was offended by it because I thought it was for the lack of a better word. But I had an issue with that. And I wrote that letter and they gave me a promotion. You know, they moved me to new car sales, right? And gave me a stipend for my wardrobe and gave me a car to drive, right? So sometimes when you stand for what you believe in, but you're willing to conform, you just got to persevere on through. You just got to, you know, it might seem like you're on a job you don't want to be on, but you got to still push through. You got to figure out a way to still make that thing work. Because the reality of it is quitting is losing. Quitting is, if you quit a job and you don't have another job lined up, you're being temperamental. And you're putting your emotions before your bank book. And society is becoming so competitive out here. And in situations where it becomes competitive like that, excuse me.
Oh.
How you doing, guy? It's becoming very competitive. So I believe that our workforce development should be one that gives back. Because as I explained to my group, when you give back, you don't have to, nobody has to validate you for being an advocate. Nobody has to validate you. You don't really have to sit down in front of me and say, I don't know, are you good at giving? I mean, how long have you been giving? I mean, so you've been giving a long time? Well, you can come give with us. If you're in the posture of giving, you might say to yourself, well, how can I give if I don't have but a little bit? Just give from what you have. Just break bread, just a little bit. Not to hurt yourself or injure yourself. But nothing feels better than helping homeless people when they're sleeping on the streets of Washington, D.C. without a place to go. I have several people that resident here overnight that I take care of that's from my community that come here just to lay down, just to have a place to sleep, and get something to eat, get up in the morning, go to work, go to their jobs, okay? So when you deal with the relevance of it all, any one of us could be 2 steps from homelessness. I say 2 because you might have a layer of your family keeping you from hitting the bottom. But see, when people think they got it so figured out, they can go to sleep in your meeting. Because they think, oh, I know I'm going to be all right. Yeah, you woke up that time, didn't you? All right, I'm going in. But mainly, I want to tell everybody that this is what we work on here. We work on your development. It's not all easy lessons, but we work on team leadership, artistic expression and development. The sister here is a master photographer. She's come over at Cabina and she's donated some of her time. She's giving back. She's willing to give back to the community. And she's donated some of her time, some of her workers over on the table that she took the other day while we was out on exercise routine, which normally on a normal setting in the morning we hit those kind of moves. We might hit some today, I don't know. But my whole thing is, this is the type of program, it's well-rounded. I saw that.
Like, no.
No, I ain't ready to do none of that. But it's good for us. And I'll tell you how it's relevant to your work. When you're at work and you sit behind a computer for a living, your legs become stiff and you get in your joints, you know, because you're always sitting and your eyes become deteriorated by looking at that CRT all day, right? So that the rays that shoot into you, so you kind of like become a little sedentary just by working a job like that. Your posture changes, your back isn't aligned properly, your feet sometimes bother you, they go to sleep on you and whatnot because your blood flow is not circulating properly. So I'm a strong advocate, and we are working on health and wellness here as it relates to eating, as it relates to exercise, as it relates to all of that, and how it's relevant in our life. Little bit at a time, you can get your game together. Little bit at a time, you can get it all together. So we do a well-rounded type of deal here. So just to say, when you come and visit us, which Brother Kimon and I are going to be partnering and collaborating going forward during the Summer Youth Employment Program. They're going to be sometime that he has some things to do. You guys may be mandated to come to this center. I expect you to be on time. If you're not on time, you will find out the hard way why everybody want to listen. It's not that hard. It's just you exercising a little bit of discipline. Because I'm only wanting for you what I want for myself. I ain't want nothing else from you but what I want for myself. So I want to be successful. Jerome, you want to be successful? Kavini, you want to be successful?
Sure do.
What about you, sister? You want to be successful? I didn't hear that. That was like...
Yes.
Oh, do you want to be successful, young man? I can't.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, what about you, Chan? You want to be successful?
Yeah.
Sister, you want to be successful?
Yes.
What about you, Shan? You want to be successful? You want to be successful, my man?
Yes.
Canberra lady, you want to be successful?
Of course.
What about you? You want to be successful? What about you? Spidey? Do you want to be successful? I'm just kidding. We got a little inside joke. But do you want to be successful? You want to be successful, right? Okay. So let's not play with our time. Let's make our time valuable. And the best way that we can make our time valuable is enjoying our time with each other, learning as much as we can in the environment that we in, right? And maximizing all the potential opportunities that we have. Let me get 25. You ain't gotta stop talking or nothing. You can just keep on talking while you doing your 25. Let me get it. It's all good. It's all good. I'm sure what you was talking about was real impressive. We got a whole lot of reasons why it's some positive energy in it. And see, that's a strong young fella right there. Strong young fella. Give me real money too, man. Let me get real money too. Not none of that old stuff you did on the, because I watched the poster when I reviewed the film from the other day. And it was not real push-up. So yeah, come on, show them what's really going on. Yo, you're going too fast. Do you see? Come on. Slow that thing down a little bit. Give me some real money. Yeah. All right, all right. And we do accommodate the ladies with females with female push-ups if you cannot do a real push-up yet. If you cannot hold your body up, just to give you an example, this is real good. This is good to me. If your body is like this, your knees are on the ground, right? Your arms are wide, and you're pushing down like this, and you're pushing yourself up. But you're keeping your body long, right? That's acceptable for females. Just to let you know, y'all not exempt. Hi.
But I don't do push-ups.
Welcome to BMBC again. Y'all ready to run? All right. What you? Come on, you know you.
Don't start it, man. Don't start it.
Come on, man. You
Don't
know
start
how
it,
we.
won't be nothing.
You know how we go, right?
Yeah, don't start
All
it.
right, you.
Don't want to stop.
She got a little, you know. I only meant to say it because everybody just laughed because they already know.
Because you always
She's a
say
little,
it. You don't
I didn't say
saying
anything.
that you do always do that. Stop doing that. This stuff really make me mad.
It's so
Stop
cute.
doing that. It's really you.
It's so cute, though.
No, it's not. Stop saying it.
Why you gotta embrace your energy.
Because no, you always do that. Y'all always do that. This stuff starting to irritate me. Stop saying that, man.
What doesn't irritate you?
Everything.
That's
it
all I
good?
want to know. If you
It's
talking about
nasty?
something irritating you,
It's
then
nasty?
that's the same thing that you carry around with. No, I'm just trying to figure out, is there something that don't irritate you? So don't expect me to stop digging in.
You always gotta talk to some food, though.
All right. So this is pretty much not only that, but when we break down to readiness and artisticness, the man to talk about is that man right here. Jerome, come on up and say a few words for me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Ron Johnson. I'm the artist in residence here. I've been running the community arts program. A lot of the people that with the summer youth may not participate in that program. The program is, and the building is generally to serve this community, even though we welcome everybody to come back once we roll. When we first started with the summer youth group, SYEP, I knew it was dirty work that was involved in this building. There's been a lot of improvements in the last few weeks in this building. Our group's been with us for like 2 weeks, and they've done a lot of hard grunt work. I mean, dirty work. We've had to move just heavy items, big furniture, dirt, trash, everything. And the conditions around here aren't ideal. I honestly did not expect, because I've worked with youth for a long time and taught DC public schools, taught in recreation centers, ran cultural arts centers, and I know how youth can be very persnickety about food, about environment. Oh, these bathrooms, this, that, you know. But I'm really proud of the group that came here, because they've been sold on the idea of service. Saladin said that he wasn't a minister. The word minister is really translated as servant. And a lot of people that pose as ministers and wear collars are not true servants. And I find that I've seen some servants out here. I've seen homeless people come in here beaten down, and I've seen him feed them, even give them a haircut. And in about 2 weeks' time, their eyes are clearing and they're coming back into themselves. So a lot of public service on an invisible level. Nobody's getting big awards, nobody's grandstanding. But what you participate, what's funny? Are you laughing at me? Okay. And I'm quiet around here. These kids don't know, I'm probably way more serious. I'm an old dude. I've seen a lot. I've seen Malcolm X get killed. I've seen Martin Luther King get killed. I have a broader, wider view. I watch black youth and where we are now, and I tie it into where we've been and what I've witnessed all my life and what I know about our past. And I know that if we don't do endeavors like this, where we are training each other, And we're talking about you picking up the ball after we're gone and you reaching back and training the younger ones. If initiatives like this are not done, I think we will fall off the planet as extinct because, believe it or not, we have enemies. We have people who don't have our interests at heart as a people. And that's the reason why those former leaders are now gone and we generally are leaderless. So what we're trying to do is create leaders, create servants. If we don't have servants, we won't have a community in the future. The transition in this city over the last 12 years, 13 years or longer, have been unprecedented. Our chocolate city has disappeared. And I'm not saying that it has to be a black city to be a good city. I'm saying when your interests are not at heart, and your future is not addressed, your education does not prepare you, then you have to do some things on your own. And you have to be serious about your life and about the lives of those that's coming behind you. And that's why we're here. This staff is here presently without pay. Without pay. I'm getting up every morning, working, going home tired, can't even do my own work. Because I feel it's very important, not just for me to be here, but for me to be here and hopefully you'll do something in your life where you're passing something down too. One of the things I like about this center is the diversity. He mentioned an environmentalist coming in here. When he first said an environmentalist was coming, well, it's solid being doing this. And we talk about some green stuff, But then when he gave me the idea, when he showed me the idea of what we plan to do across the street, the ugliness of that fence and the ugly machinery and stuff behind it, an environmental project that we're going to do out of the center that involves murals and planning and to beautify this community. It's going to benefit the entire community. And also the talent that goes out of this community. I really got scared when Chuck Brown passed away. And if you go in that, one of the artistic projects, the first artistic project that we're doing, because we don't preserve our culture, it will disappear. If somebody don't learn how to play that go-go beat, you're going to hear that go-go beat 5 years from now. And I was getting ready to say, when Chuck passed away, I said, oh my God, our culture is getting ready to go. If somebody doesn't pick up the ball, there are not any young bands out here playing. There are not any young DC, you got one person in rap, Wale, one person. This is Chocolate City. This is a land of talent and gifts that is fizzling away. But I'm looking at it from a broader picture, not a day-to-day. I'm seeing it from way back to right now. And what I see is I don't like what I see. So I'm just saying, we have to pick up the ball. We have to be serious. I know you're young, you're not thinking along these lines now. But what we hope to do with this center, the environmentalist, he has things to teach. We have a photography person, we have a mathematician that comes through here. We have so many dedicated people who really want to pass something down. That if this center succeeds, and I tell you, it's my prayer that this succeeds because people like me and Saladin, he said that we were rebels. And the brother there, I can look at him and tell you that's handing on back. That's the way he wanted us. He says on that. He is a rebel. It takes a rebel. Martin Luther King was a rebel. Malcolm X was a rebel. Frederick Douglass was a rebel. Anybody that did anything on our Jesus Christ was a rebel. Anybody who does anything worthwhile in this society for black people generally is a rebel because one thing Dean said a long time ago, when we first started, not a long time ago, we've been here for 2 weeks. It seems like we've been here, it seems like I've known you all for a long time. We've been here like 2 weeks in this river. It seems like a long time. But something he said earlier in the game, the reason why so many people are against us is because they know who we are. They know our capabilities. They know what our insides are all about. They know our potential. They know our history. They know our accomplishments in the past. When you don't study and you don't educate yourself, and a lot of us feel education isn't important, and I know that from teaching DCPS, that half of the problems from teaching, I'm not going to talk long, I don't do much talking. This first time I actually stood up in here and said anything. But half of the problem in DCPS is the thugs that come in the door and sit down and you got to try to teach the rest of the people because these people are disrupting the education system because we've been sold gangsterism, thugism. I'm hard, I'm cool, I'm everything but an educated individual. So whether you fall in society's categories or not of a successful person, it behooves you so that you won't be eliminated. It behooves you to educate yourself to the fullest. All the math, all the science, not to be a nerd, but I don't know how I would function without the intense education that began when I dropped out of college. And I told them, you don't have anything to offer me at this time. And I went back later, went back at the age of 40 and finished my degree at 42. I was supposed to finish at 22. But the 20 years in between were the most valuable because I decided to educate myself on topics and subjects that I felt necessary that, that I wasn't getting in the college setting. You have to be self-educated. You have to learn all you can about your past, all you can about spirituality, all you can about diet, all you can about taking care of. You can't trust people to take care of your body. You can't even trust the medical system. You can't trust any of these systems. These systems don't love you. You got to learn all you can learn so you can help other people coming behind you, so you can educate, and so you can be an independent human being who doesn't have to depend on people who sometimes do not have your interest at heart at all, who would rather see you annihilated than see you reach your potential. So it behooves you, I'm going to end this, take advantage of the things, come back to the center after you leave, do this little summer stint because we plan to continue, we plan to fill we want to have, they've written us off as artists, they've written us off as musicians. My focus is cultural arts, even though education is the #1 priority in my life. And education I'm in my 60s now, education never ends. You're always educating yourself constantly. I don't see anybody here reading I'm not talking about, I've never seen anybody here come in here with a newspaper. You can't go on the internet for everything. They control the news. You get investigative reporting when you read a paper. You get articles on controversial topics, but sometimes when you look into that little box, I know technology is good, but we're losing our humanity. I'll just drop that off. You don't even speak to each other anymore. That's cool. You got to learn how to learn the technology to function. Don't forget how to use your hands and think for yourself and compute. And to do those things that you exercise your mind in, not just push a button on a calculator or a machine. Like I said, hopefully, especially the ones who are in here every day, because we have a master plan at this center, and not just for this center. Saladin may not know, but my vision is beyond just Washington, D.C. I have people that want me to move because of my artistic skills, and because of my commitment, because of knowledge. People want me to move to Houston, Texas, Taiwan, Virginia, New York, New Jersey area. I don't have to move there. I think that the things we are doing in this center will serve as a model that can be used everywhere. So we want to make this thing work. We want you to come back and feel like you are part of something that could really help our people. And if the rebel, I know we're not sitting up here with a suit and tie and flashy degrees of all different kinds, but the rebels that you see before you are, and you might end up being a rebel yourself in a good way. I'm not talking about a thug. I'm not talking about against society. I'm talking about going against the grain. Going against the grain of being ineffective, always working for somebody else. You talk about jobs, but you're going to have to create your own job. They're not hiring you now like that. You're going to have to be an entrepreneur. You're going to have to trade on an international basis. You're going to have to step into a whole new different arena. Because they don't even, they got the Orientals cooking our food now. So, a cook job. They got the Hispanics doing the construction. You got the Ethiopians in 7-Eleven. They've replaced us. They don't want us. And I don't care. I'm the type of person, I don't care. When you are totally independent, when your hands dictate whether you're going to make money and your mind, not his mind, not his job. And I'm saying you can make yourself so valuable that they have to have you on their jobs. But if they don't want you on their jobs, you have to be to the point where you're fully functioning economically, your gifts make room for you if you exercise your gifts. But in order to do that, as the old people used to tell us, you know, black man, you got to be twice as good as everybody else just to be recognized. We are more than twice as good. And that's not a superiority brag. That's just what God put in us as a people. So we got to exercise that. Everybody can't be rappers. You know, everybody can't live the thug life that is pushed. You look at the media and how the media projects us because they want you to fall into those patterns. So we have to, you know, like Saladin said, that nerd. And I had children that say, I want to be a nerd. My oldest daughter said, I want to be a nerd. She didn't go to college. Brilliant girl. My second daughter, I don't want to be a nerd. I'm cool. You know, she didn't go to college. The third one, she had more sense. She did the do. The fourth one did the do. The fifth one did the do, and the sixth one. And the reason why, is because they saw the struggles of the first two. You know, so education is important. Independence is important. Reaching back is important. And community building is definitely important because communities have been torn down now. So we got to reverse all of the past things.
All right.
Okay.
I'm back.
No, he's back.
All right. So I was throwing some stuff together, and thank you all. You know, Dr. Jerome is an outstanding community servant. He as well as a volunteer here at BMDC. So we are very, very excited about having him as a intricate part of our program, and we just, you know, we can't say enough good things about the refreshing energy that he puts into the project. So we look forward to doing big things. And also with Brother Kamon. Kamon is also, hands down, outstanding at what he does. So, you know, the reason we take this standpoint is so that you have a variety of options. Almost like you can't miss. So even though you might say, I don't like to do that, I don't want to do that, I don't need to learn all that, I ain't going to be doing all that, you should still learn a proficiency in each of the areas. Because I can relate wholeheartedly to Kamon, and I'm a tough love kind of guy. And I believe, I understand what he's saying when he say, I would have go kick the casket. Somebody might get that wrong, but it's certain young dudes that's around me that's how much I love them. But I'm not gonna be easy on them because life just don't deal you them kind of cards. Somebody got to be love you enough to be tough with you. You know, especially with the females today. Females are having the greatest challenges of all right now. Because the lack of real male presence is a blow. I got daughters. I got 2 daughters and 2 sons. It's a blow to the fact that when you grow up and you become a woman and you start moving on in your life and you finish you go to college and you finish your college and then you finish your master's degree and then you get out of master's and you say, I'm going to go back and I'll just take another master's. And you take yourself to the highest level of academia that you can in your classification and you get a good job and they land you in a job and then you can't even find nobody that can have a conversation with you or match with you because of our own issues that we need to resolve. And it's not just a black-white thing. It's not, none of that. It's really all about people. You know, this just happens to be what's relevant where we live at this particular time. But we have all kinds of people coming. And I would just say the issue is pretty much the same across the board. We need work. We need jobs. And we need to be connected to somebody and something that got our back out here. When you go to a job and something doesn't work out right, how are you going to pay your rent? How are you going to pay your, you know, I've been through all these things in life. So I'll try to use that as groundwork for our program and our building together. How can we invigorate our community? How can we activate y'all to be real strong in careers? Here, meaning define yourself. Define a job that you're good at. Find something that you love and go in that lane. It's a one-in-a-lifetime unusual opportunity. You have the opportunity to define your own lane and do well in it. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you from being successful. Only you can get in your own way. You can get in your own way, sure enough. So, being so everybody has a little bit of yawniness and stuff like that, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to give everybody a little time to just go out